Repetitive bad relationships that happen on a regular basis and constant feelings of regret for hurting someone else are clear signs of karmic relationships. The universal law keeps us to live in harmony and balance. Within this law, every action has a corresponding reaction. Accepting this law, we attain inner peace and harmony. How soul contract works. Many people experience one or more karmic relationships. This past life karmic relationship could only be healed by the soul contract we created before incarnating in this planet. For example, if a person was an abusive husband in the past life, he would make a soul contract with his wife doing it all over again but with a twist. In the next life, he'd take the role of the abused wife, while the wife takes the role of the abusive husband. A contract like this is done for the main purpose of learning the consequences of karma and basically learning the mistakes in the past life. Perhaps this also holds true for child abuse. It may be possible that the child was the abuser in the past life and this was part of their soul contract. On the other hand, before a parent punishes a child, they'd say what they're going to do hurts them more than it would hurt the child. This most likely comes from their remembrance of when they made their soul contract with the child they were about to punish. Or, this may be through their cellular DNA, the feeling of familiarity of what it was like to be abused. Thus, they're learning the lessons through their soul contracts. This is how karma ends. When you learn to forgive your abuser and you promise to yourself never to abuse anyone because you know enough how it feels. How the universal law of wisdom works. We keep finding ourselves in repetitive patterns or cycles, yet keep committing the same mistake again. This is how the universal law of wisdom comes to the picture. The universal law of wisdom releases the other person or people from the wheel of karma by forgiving them with unconditional love. Unconditional love helps us focus on the lessons learned and the experiences we had, making us forgive others no matter how bad the damage had been. We may have a hard time understanding this, yet, before we incarnate here, we were on the other side of the veil feeling only unconditional love for another. When we made the soul contract, unconditional love was being removed from us. Because of the mistakes we committed in the past life, we decided to come back to experience these mistakes from the other person's perspective. Hence, we made a soul contract with that person to resolve the issues. The idea was to put an end to the wheel of karma. However, upon incarnating here, the pains of the lessons distracted us to attaining our original loving intent when the contract was made, making those who didn't learn the lessons create more karma. Dolores Cannon, a past life regression hypnotherapist, said, "People keep coming back to this incarnation over and over again because they keep making the same mistakes. Karma is like molasses, you get stuck in it easily." Did you ever make the same mistakes over and over again? For example, relationships, finances, etc. It's time to release the negative karma. Cannon concluded that we have to learn forgiveness in order to release karma. You might have gone through bad relationships in the past. Consider releasing the persons from the wheel of karma by forgiving them and giving them unconditional love. Doing this might be the most difficult thing you've done in your entire life, especially when the relationship was abusive. But bear in mind that you might be the abuser in the past life and that you agreed to come here for the main purpose of ending the cyclic abusive relationship. This is your best time to take the high road and end the karma in this incarnation. This doesn't mean there's a necessity to unconditionally love the person you have had the relationship with. It just means you have to unconditionally love the lessons learned through the experiences, thereby putting an end to all karmic relationships with that particular person. When you use and live in accordance with the universal law of wisdom to the fullest, you're ultimately putting an end to all karmic relationships.